Hey Nick, I've been trying to learn Spanish, and so I was talking to Mrs. Hertel, and she taught me how to say our intro, so I'm going to try doing this, alright? Ready?
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Hola y bienvenido a la red de podcasts Rambler. Mi nombre es Jacob Valier y mi nombre es Nicholas AWN. Aquí hacemos noticias de la escuela, eventos actuales y solo un toque de tonterías. Vámonos.
Let's jump right into it.
Great. Hello and welcome back to the Rambler Podcast Network. This is Episode 3 of Season 2. I am Nick Allen.
And my name's Jacob Elger.
And we are live with our special guest for a very special episode, Mrs. Hertel.
Hola!
Hi, Mrs. Hertel. We want to talk to you about a recent trip to Panama. We heard that you guys visited.
Did do that, didn't we? Yeah, we took a trip at the end of November with Boyne City High School students.
Well, that sounds like a fun thing to talk about.
Yeah.
We are going to dive right into this, and will you just tell us a little bit about what you guys did?
Sure. So we, there were 34 students who went on this trip, and we went to Panama for a week. And we kind of got a little flavor of the culture and life in Panama, and we did different excursions every day, and took different day trips out to different locations, and did some different activities. We went to the Pearl Islands off of the coast of Panama.
Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That's where they filmed some episodes of Survivor.
I heard about that. I was so jealous because my family watches Survivor a lot.
Survivor fans.
We're Survivor fans, and I would have loved to go there and taken a picture by one of the signs.
It was really cool. Yeah, it was really cool.
Nice.
It was like middle of nowhere. We had to take a ferry for an hour and a half out to a main island, and then from there we had to take these smaller boats out to the different Pearl Islands. It's a series of islands. So we were out there in middle of nowhere, and the kids were able to go snorkeling and see the wildlife there, and it was just really cool.
An hour and a half ferry ride.
An hour and a half ferry ride.
How many people are on that ferry?
It was a pretty decent-sized ferry.
Is it like the ferry that you have like in town? That's not.
Was it the Beaver Islander, perhaps?
Yeah.
I think it was actually maybe the same thing. I'm not sure.
They had the Beaver Islander to the Pearl Islands.
Yes, in fact, I think that was in the back of our plane. I'm not sure. Is that why we
took it with
all
us.
Our bags? Was that part of
You
it?
guys took your cargo plane.
Yes,
didn't
we
you?
did. We no, it was probably, I'd say, let's see, with our group, it was probably around 80 people, maybe.
Wow.
On that ferry. Yep.
Yeah.
So it was a big group and moved pretty quickly. It reminded me of the trip to Mackinac Island, only a lot longer.
The trip to Mackinac Island, meaning like elementary school Mackinac Island, or
No, I meant like the ferry ride out to Mackinac Island.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you were comparing.
Moving very quickly, but it took us an hour.
Going to
and a
Panama
half.
was very similar to eating the fudge at Mackinac Island.
I wasn't sure if
Seeing the
that's what you
horses
meant.
trot
A lot
around
less
in the
horses
carriages.
in Panama.
Almost
To
identical, you know.
Trade the horses for the monkeys. It's about the same.
Speaking of which, why didn't you guys just go to Mackinac Island? Why'd you guys go to Panama?
Well, we've been taking different trips. I've put together a couple trips now since I've been at Boyne City High School, and I've been with a group to Puerto Rico. We've been to Costa Rica and Panama. It was really interesting to me. It just looked like a place that I would like to see our students be able to explore and get to see the Panama Canal. That was one of our excursions that we did, and it's just so amazing. You go there and it's just. There are the ships crossing through the Panama Canal, and
the ones we've seen our entire lives.
I know, right? It's just so amazing. Mrs. Deming kept joking, like, "There go my Amazon orders, through the Panama Canal."
Not even kidding.
Yeah, she's like, "There it is. There's my box." So, but it was just a really amazing thing to be able to go and experience, and to have this experience with our students is something that is just priceless to me. So
It's awesome, yeah.
So I was thinking about that. Well, you mentioned that you went to Puerto Rico and all these different places. Is Panama the best place you've gone so far? Or which one was your favorite?
It's so hard to compare them. We do a lot of different things in the different countries, and it's just so hard to compare the experiences. I mean, for example, when we were in Costa Rica, we stayed in this area of the jungle where the howler monkeys would wake us up in the morning.
What?
Yeah, it was really cool. And
You'd wake up in the middle of the night and you just have monkeys going crazy.
pretty much. It was. I got out of bed one morning. I was like, "What is this waking me up?" And
That's awesome.
But then in Panama, we went on this tour that they called the Monkey Island tour because there's all these little islands that have different types of monkeys on them, and they gave the kids fruit to have the monkeys hop onto our boats and feed the monkeys. And yeah, so there we were, and it was
you were
just
gonna say that they gave the kids fruit for snacks.
no, they cut
It
up
was
some
really great. We
bananas
went to
and nuts.
Panama. They gave us snacks.
Yes, snacks are always important. We want to make sure that they eat a lot.
So it's like the Panama equivalent of our like little pet farms where we feed the goats.
Right,
going
feed
through.
the goats,
Goats,
except it was
yes.
feed the
Yeah.
monkeys
Feed
and
the
hope that
monkeys.
they don't bite you, you know? So it was pretty interesting.
Well, that's awesome. Can you describe some highlights of your trip? You mentioned the
Sure.
monkeys.
Yeah, the monkeys
the
were
Pearl
fun.
Island, which
Pearl
sounds just
Islands was
lovely.
just-
Or some embarrassing stories.
Amazing.
We'd love those too.
embarrassing
If there's one
stories.
thing we like, it's
Oh my
We
embarrassing.
like embarrassing stories.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure. Okay, let me think here. You know,
No pressure. It's not like the student body's listening to you right now.
I know, right? Let's see. I'm getting some gestures here from Kane because we went to the marketplace on our city tour, and you know, we're shopping. They have these little outdoor stands basically where you can go and buy little, you know, souvenirs and trinkets and things. And so I'm looking and I'm buying some things for my kids. And the next thing I know, I see these strangers approaching Kane and I believe some of her friends, and they're like, you know, giving him the kisses on the cheek, and I'm like, what is going on? And yeah, so they were having a lot of fun with that, but I was not having fun because I was flipping out. So
Wow, I think this would be a good time. Can we, Jillian, do you mind saying a few things? This, ladies and gentlemen, this is our guest, Jillian Kane, a student on the Panama Trip. Is that correct?
Yes, happy to be here. So yeah, we went to the marketplace and was approached by one sweet guy and one a little questionable. So
How so? Why was he questionable?
well, he was just a little bit more forceful. He would like ask for our numbers or where we're
Wow.
staying.
You have an
Whereas the other
international
guy-
It's a
boyfriend.
man who
Yeah,
knows
no,
what's-
Chachi was the boyfriend.
Oh my gosh, you got
You're on a
his
first
name.
No,
you're on a
I
first name
did get his
basis
name.
with this guy? Wow.
I did get his name, but I forgot it.
You're
So me and
making your boyfriend all
Avery,
jealous right
I know,
now,
I'm
just
sorry,
saying.
Nick.
Wow.
Sorry.
It's crazy stuff.
But we forgot his name, so we renamed him Chachi.
Oh, so it's not actually his name.
Not his
Yeah,
real name.
yeah.
Okay, I
Wow.
see.
But he was sweet. He ended up giving me some free jewelry. So
So if
that's
Chachi is listening right now, do you have one thing to say to Chachi?
Thanks for the free stuff.
thanks for the free bracelet, but the necklace you gave me broke.
Oh,
So kind of at you,
Chachi, you cheapskate.
I know.
The relationship
Yeah.
is broken.
labor in Panama.
Just
I know.
just like the bracelet, that relationship was broken
gonna-
immediately.
Yeah.
Truly
Once I
fragile to
left,
start.
Once I left the country, it was back to Nick and by Chachi.
Oh.
So as a student, Jillian, I'm sure you're, well, because Hertel has gone to many different places, like we were talking about Puerto Rico and all those places. What was the major differences you noticed in their culture compared to ours?
One major difference was the trash. They really didn't have a good trash pickup system like we do in America. So there would just be trash lining the streets. If you look down an alley, there's just filled with trash, especially when you get out of the urban and you go into the rural towns. It's just terrible. You can smell people burning their trash because they don't know how to get rid of it. So it's just, that's a real problem there.
But what a beautiful country. I mean, Jesus.
I mean, it is like, it's crazily beautiful, like looking at the rainforest and even just looking at the city, looking at the architecture, it's amazing, but the trash, you know, brought it down a little bit.
Well, speaking of the scenic view and all that kind of stuff, I honestly felt like I was at Panama for a while because everyone was sharing so many
Okay,
stories, so
well,
many pictures.
when you're there, how can
I
you
felt
not
like I was
share?
there.
How
No,
can you not
I get
share?
that, and I'm not trying to complain. I'm just saying I felt like I got the full experience.
You're welcome.
I was there.
Thank- yeah,
feeding those
thank you.
monkeys with you guys. I mean, it was
Yeah.
truly.
I was Facebook Live and I was Snapchat. I was
Did you put a
watching.
banana in your hand, waiting for the monkey to come?
Or
It was like it was a
peanut. They
it was a
like the
virtual
peanuts better.
experience.
Virtual.
I was Jillian
Yes.
Kane
Snacks
for
that
some of
the-
those moments. I was the embodiment of Jillian Kane as that monkey ran toward her.
Yeah, so really, we're just expressing a thank you. Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
quite welcome. De nada, as the Panamanians would say.
We don't know.
I know that Spanish one from Dora the Explorer.
I'm really going out.
Dora the Explorer is pretty much the extent of all my Spanish.
You know, I never watched Dora.
I actually got a middle school comp. I got my 2 credits in middle school, so I'm a bit of a Spanish expert
Wow, you
myself.
must be a
I tried to get him to take it, but
See, I took all my Spanish in middle school too, and never taken Spanish in high school. So
Top for that, huh?
all I
Here's the
need to
Band-Aids
know
with
is
their music.
Dora Explorer and
Not even
Diego.
Thank you very
Diego,
much.
let's go. Diego, that got me through some times.
Diego.
But so, going back to another question, do you guys have your favorite Spanish songs? Like, if you had to listen to one Spanish song, what would you listen to?
oh, what's that one? Vivir mi vida.
Vivir mi vida.
Vivir mi vida.
Wait, let me
Good
guess what-
song. I
wait.
think I shared it with
I guess
Nick,
what
and
that
now he
title
listens to
means?
it in the car.
It's a good jam, isn't
It's a
it?
good jam.
I'll admit it's
Or
not bad.
Corey. Corey's
is
like if you're
probably my
feeling
all-time
sad,
favorite.
you listen to Corey.
If you need a good cry, that's the one you listen to. Okay, well, it doesn't sound like that,
Wait, what does that mean?
but run.
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 But it's like
Sad.
telling like your
Run,
love to run
run.
away.
Or, like-
it's a bad like.
What the first
Yeah,
one mean?
Corazon en la maleta.
So corazón
Heart
en
in
la maleta.
the suitcase.
Mhm. What?
Oh, so I think this is a good time to add into our third and final guest because he seems to
Oh, boy.
have some song suggestions because he made some few comments. So I'm going to make him come in now. Let's give a round of applause for Aiden Bream. Whoa! Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Aiden.
I love
Welcome to the
you.
show.
In our class, he's Aidan Santo Domingo, República Dominicana. Breve.
What?
Hi everyone.
Can you say that again slowly?
Aidan Santo Domingo, República Dominicana. Breve.
That's me.
Well,
Thank you very much for having. I am actually the sound guy.
So he's
I'm a
not
little
important.
But he
unprepared
also
to
went on
be
the Panama
stopped
Trip.
to be
Yeah, so he went
talking
to
into
He
the
might have some
mic.
input
but
too.
he's just not a good talker. He's the sound guy. We put him back there.
Sound guy. I'm a good listener.
Yeah, he's a good listener.
He's a good listener.
He doesn't got street smarts or book smarts, but by God, he's handsome. So
Why, thank you.
Well put. Well put.
Well, I mean, the listeners can't see this, but he is wearing a Michigan sweatshirt, so I'm just
quite
saying.
ugly
Quite
sweater.
yeah, why didn't you wear a
That's a
Michigan State
thumbs
one?
down
It
from
is
this
ugly
lady.
sweater today.
Exactly.
So why
That's
didn't you
the
wear
point.
Michigan State?
That's the point.
Oh, shoot. I gotta go. But Aiden, what about your experience with the native village and things? Like, I think that was one of the things that you really loved.
Yeah, that was that was by far probably the highlight for me. Throughout the many culture shocks that we definitely had, that was probably the main one where we were able to really interact with indigenous peoples. And there were these 3, 4, or 5 kids that were there while our tour guide was giving a presentation. And I couldn't help but just focus on the friendliness and the characters of the kids and how sweet they were, how much fun they were willing to have with us. I think probably the most popular experience that everyone will remember is there was a circle at the end and everyone was just having the best time going up and giving the kids a high five. And I think that's probably that is the main reason that I wanted to go on the trip, was to experience things like that. What about you, Joe?
Jeez, put me on the spot. Oh, boy. I actually really liked the monkey tour. It was like culture right up in your face. Like the monkey is chewing right in your face. It's grabbing your hand.
If I had to explain Panama's culture in a couple
Yeah,
words,
running
I'd
over
say
our
it's a monkey
shoulders.
chewing in your
Monkey in
face.
your
That's the
face.
nutshell.
Yeah.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
nutshell.
It was
Panama.
the cutest thing where we saw a mama monkey come down onto our boat. I don't think Seniora was on your boat.
No, I was on a
Yeah, it was right
I
next
was
to me. It
super
was so
jealous.
cute. A mama and her little baby. And we saw it
was
get off
so
for the
cute.
first time, actually. And, weaned itself off. And the mom was like, nope, get back here. And threw it back on. It was so cute, though.
It's like when you guys go to graduate, we're like, no, get back here. Come back and be with us for a
yeah,
little
Kathy
bit. And you're like,
crying.
no, we gotta go.
Get back.
I think one of the things with these trips is that, we have such a beautiful small town that we live in, and, we're so fortunate to have beautiful Lake Charlevoix just down the street, and, Young State Park, and, we're just able to experience a lot of those things on a daily basis and see the seasons change and things like that. But, you know, when students go on a trip like this, they are taken, you know, away into these different areas that are so similar in their beauty, but so different in the experiences that they can have with it. And it's just, you know, a really amazing thing from my
really awesome,
perspective to see.
It's super valuable for, like you said, we're from such a small town. To be able to go look and see some things that we otherwise wouldn't be able to see. I mean, a lot of people stay in Michigan the majority of their life. And so to be able to go on a trip like this is pretty amazing.
It was also just so different. I don't know what word I'm looking for here, but how different the big city was compared to the rural. Like there was an insane amount of difference. Like the big city was modern, fast-paced. Rural was just like everything was slow-moving, like kind of like mud houses. Yeah, kind of hippie-ish.
Yep.
It was a big difference, especially compared to like our small towns. We still have a few nice things. Like we have some good restaurants and like a fast food place. Theirs is just
and like the infrastructure in our small towns is, I mean, obviously we don't have skyscrapers, but we have sound buildings and, you know, fast internet and really cool stuff like that. Whereas, I mean, what was it like?
I mean,
in the
you're
villages?
going to places that have, you know, toilets that don't flush.
Oh gosh,
and, you know, I mean,
terrible. The bathrooms. Let's talk about the bathrooms.
I'm just keeping it real. There's some systems that can't handle things like that, and that's one of the things the kids are like, oh my god, what, you know, where's the toilet paper? What do I do with the toilet paper?
It was very common to have like signs next to the toilet saying that you couldn't flush the toilet paper, that you had to throw it away. So the stench in those bathrooms was just horrific.
I mean, just little things like that where, you know, there are things that I think, you know, we start to just kind of take for granted, and then you go somewhere and you're like, it's just kind of a reality check of, wow, it's, you know, we've really got it made here, and we're really fortunate and blessed to live in the place that we live and have the things that we have without, I mean, you know, you go just about anywhere around here and Wi-Fi is kind of like an expectation, you know, and so.
Or just clean drinking water. Like when we got back to the hotel or in the bus, we would always have to buy like cases of water per day
just to
because we just weren't sure about the water there. You just didn't know.
I'm not going to take the risk.
Yeah, and you guys been throwing out the word culture shock, that phrase, quite a bit. And I think a lot of people kind of make it a more of a broader thing when in general it's those smaller things, like you said, those bathrooms, the fact that you need to get those, actually buy bottles of water, just those little tiny things that we don't really think of when we go there. Those are the things that make the biggest impact on everyone, that really make you stop and say, whoa, this is completely different.
Was the food safe too? I mean,
yeah, I mean, you know, when it comes to the water and everything, it's just kind of one of those, at some point you're going to have some sort of interaction with the water, like if the salad's washed in the water, the lettuce, I mean, is washed in the water before they make your salad, or, you know, whatever. I mean, you're just kind of, it's inevitable that you're going to come into contact with some of that, but just in general, like within the city limits, it was pretty safe to be able to drink the water. But, you know, when you go out of town and you get to those areas where where the bathrooms are questionable, things like that, then you go, well, yeah, we're going to drink some bottled water now.
Right,
so.
yeah, of course.
A comment towards Jacob's comment about the culture shocks and some little things. When there were times where we'd be in a big city and everything was a little bit more structured, you know, it was moving smoothly. But there were times where we would be in that big city and we'd take a street just a block over and we would be able to see houses that were made out of roofing and, you know, no running water, no running bathrooms, just shanties.
Really?
And that was like actual shanties, and that was probably the larger part of that, it was hard to see, knowing how lucky we are here to not have to deal with that, to see how common it is there. Yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, it sounds like as beautiful and as cool a trip it was, it kind of opened a lot of eyes too.
Yep.
Without a doubt.
Which is just as important. So.
So I know when I go to places, I look forward to the food. I think of Germany, they got great food. And you go to I think it's great.
I mean, they've got good food. I just think of like,
it's
a doner
kebab.
kebab.
It's very
Wiener Schnitzel.
Very filling
Schnitzel.
food. Sausage, the meat
Lots
they
of-
have.
lots of meats.
Oh, voila. What's the Spanish word for delicious?
Delicioso.
Wow, I should have guessed
High
that
five,
one. I
Senior.
could have
High five.
guessed that
Dora
one.
didn't teach you that? Come on, man.
It was great. America, I gotta say, I love our Wendy's burgers. What the heck? That's what I think of when I think of America. I think Wendy's.
Burgers.
But
Isn't Wendy's Canadian?
Definitely more.
Really?
it might be. I actually don't know. Okay, McDonald's. We'll go with McDonald's.
Oh, there you go.
But
That's fair.
what was like a signature food that you guys had at Panama, or what's something that everybody liked?
Arroz con pollo. Todos los días.
pollo.
Oh my god.
Delicioso.
Please
Some-
expand.
Yeah, expand upon that for people that are not
on the side.
bilingual.
Rice and chicken, basically. I mean, it's a rice and
Rice
chicken
and
dish.
chicken.
Rice is a staple.
Sounds good to me.
You know,
But the
food.
problem was, I did not see one thing of salt until the last day there.
Yes.
My taste buds were like, oh my gosh, just please.
were
Some
dying.
salt, some pepper, literally anything
It's
to
funny
throw on
because
here.
when we were at the airport before we left the U.S., we stopped at Chick-fil-A to
Oh, yeah.
have our first little meal together, and the kids were all going crazy over the Chick-fil-A sauces, which I didn't even know was a thing. But I was like, you might want to pack some of those for the trip.
Did you know it was going to be
because
bland? Did you do research?
I'm used to it, and I didn't really think much of it because I had been other places where it
Yeah.
wasn't a big, it's like whatever.
I mean,
but
you're a very worldly traveler.
it's- Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that, but I would say that I've had some experience.
I'm experienced. I know many
look at me.
cultures.
So
Look at me,
it's,
I'm
to
Mr.
me, it's like
Hertel, and I've
it's
been
chicken and
places.
rice.
I was just
and-
expecting like south of the border, you think of like big flavor.
And, like,
I think
yeah, yeah.
spicy.
Spicy.
I just
It
think
wasn't
lots of-
spicy.
no, nothing.
No.
It was
Okay.
a lot of it was fried. A lot of it was bland. There were some nights where I was like, dang, this is some good food. Most of the nights, I was like, oh. Especially when Seniora took us to our favorite spot. Rico? Nico.
Nico's. We have a Nico's pizza.
It's not a Nico's pizza.
All right.
It's
Well,
like a fast food place that's
Well,
really gross. Let's talk about the club sandwiches. Senora, can you describe your sandwich?
My sandwich was actually pretty decent. I'm trying to remember what was on it,
No.
though.
Caitlin had the club sandwich,
Oh, they
and it
were
was
putting.
so
Okay, so that was
bad.
the thing. Was
Caden had a club sandwich.
Caitlin did, and
Oh,
it was
Caitlin.
like there's pork and turkey
Yeah.
or
That
sounds
ham,
good.
turkey or ham, and then some weird
Just wait, it gets
cheese. There was mayonnaise,
Oh, well,
ketchup,
you lost me on that.
mustard.
ketchup on a sandwich was a little different.
Yeah, it was weird.
I had to like stand there while they were like reading off the ingredients for like as people were ordering. I'm like, do you want ketchup on your? And they're like, oh no, salsa de tomate, like that kind of a thing because
What?
we were trying to catch all the
No
ingredients.
salsa
that
de tomate.
Right, no ketchup. We were trying to catch all the ingredients for.
Does that mean like sauce of like tomato, which is
tomato
ketchup?
sauce. Tomato
Salsa.
sauce. Tomato sauce.
Oh, I can
Salsa
speak
sauce.
Spanish.
I know,
Word.
right?
I can speak
By
Spanish.
the end of this podcast, you will be fluent. No, I'm just kidding.
I can get my automatic credits done just by doing this podcast, not pod.
Yes.
Did you have to speak Spanish like to every person that was down
Yeah,
there?
Senora
did Jillian, Aiden, did you guys speak fluent Spanish, or did you guys just kind of biff it?
It just depended on how much you wanted to try. Like if you really like they've experienced tourism. So like if you really didn't want to speak Spanish, you could speak English. But like in the market, it's nice to just have those pleasantries like, "Hi, how are you? How much is this? ¿Cuánto cuestan?" Like, "Me gusta."
I like
this. Point. A lot of pointing.
A lot of pointing.
One thing that I thought was really cool was that because we obviously don't speak Spanish all the time besides in class, it takes a while to sort of get into the groove of it and learn all the main phrases that you need to know. But one thing that I found about the people was that when they see that you're trying to speak their language, they really open up to you and try to help you. And there were several times where I was complimented on my Spanish and just how easy it was to get along with them.
Yeah, and Aiden, I also remember that I want to say Mr. Rader took like a video of you in one of the markets trying to talk a lady down on the price.
You
That
tried
was
to
Aiden the
bargain with a
trip.
lady.
It was awesome because that's what you're supposed to do. Like you go in the markets and they have their set prices and you'll offer them less and they'll try to come back and you just kind of go back and forth for a while. But he was really doing a good job with communicating over that, and that was pretty cool to see.
I will say, I did not buy a single thing for full price.
Yeah.
Wow, it's almost as if they expect it to go down.
Way to scam the markets.
I was like offering lower prices. And they
you
were
got
like,
a
no.
bracelet for free.
True.
That was
Yeah.
just because
True.
I was.
I mean, you're obviously-
blonde and friendly and tall and something he doesn't see on the everyday.
And her bodyguard Seniora was not hovering over her, so
Yeah.
I didn't ask to be kissed. He called me back there.
I
He's
forgot about that. Yeah, he kissed you.
Why do we have to go back to this
Yeah.
again? Okay.
But anyway, when we like,
Chachi.
I know when we
Chachi, I
came
hope it
back.
Was Chachi a good
like, we,
kisser?
like, huh?
On the cheek. It was
Well,
on the
I know,
cheek.
but like, was it a good peck?
No.
That's how you greet people, by the way.
All right.
Yeah, it
Countries is the cheek. Kiss on the
Nothing
cheek.
like gross. What happened? Like when he asked for the number after, it was gross.
Okay.
His friend. But back on topic. When we got back, like we landed in Atlanta, we kept saying like gracias or like
Isn't that
kept
funny?
saying things in the fast food line that were in Spanish.
Right.
So it was just interesting to see how we got so used to speaking Spanish.
Yeah. Well, hey, I think that we're going to move on to a very special rendition of podcasting here. What we're going to do, we're going to have a couple questions for you guys.
I'm so excited.
Some very quick questions. Jacob, you got the timer, right? You're going to have about 2 seconds to answer these questions. We're going to go down the line, and we only have a couple.
I'm
so don't
shouting the
freak out.
buzzer out.
Yeah, he's got a buzzer ready. We're going to go down the line and see what you guys know, okay? Are you ready?
Ready.
See,
All right, so first.
Excellent use of Spanish.
bonus point.
So how's this going to go? Is it going to go Hertel, Jillian, Aiden, Hertel, Jillian, Hayden?
I think Jillian.
Aiden?
Hayden or Aiden. I'm not really sure who he is.
Or are we just doing one person?
I think Jillian's in charge, and I'll chime in when I
All right.
can
I like
answer.
that.
I like that idea.
Okay, are you ready?
No.
All right.
2 seconds starts when I finish the question. Ready? What's the Spanish word for spaghetti?
Espaguetis.
I got excited.
Ooh, very, very good. What was your guess, Jillian? All right, that is not the answer we were looking for. Unfortunately for you, it was Mrs. Hertel's answer of espaguetis.
Wait, are we?
One
Is this?
nothing? Do I get a point?
This is the
Espaguetis.
point.
Yeah, Hertel gets a point.
Okay, she's just
Okay,
Spanish
it's
teacher.
0-1.
I just want to win it.
Next round.
Like that. Okay, ready. What is the national bird of Panama?
Toucan.
Eh.
Parrot.
I'm sorry.
How many guesses do you get? Is it a
3.
monkey?
Okay, we're going to cross that one out. We're going to say it's known.
Panama.
It's the harpy eagle.
I knew that.
Our tour
guys
guide talked
actually-
about it.
I'm joking.
Our tour guide Gonzo
sounded so
talked about that.
convincing.
and I
Gonzo?
totally-
Your tour guide's name was
Gonzo,
Gonzo?
like the
He was
Muppet they kept
amazing.
saying. His name
I
is
love
Gonzo
that.
Muppet.
Gonzo. Yeah.
Could he do a Gonzo voice? Like the Muppet?
I don't know who that
No,
is.
he was like he was a famous singer.
No, he
and-
was not.
Well, he
said he was.
He
Looked
said
on
he
his
was.
Instagram and he was not.
He had albums.
Anyone can have albums.
He was like 12.
I could have
All
an
right.
album, and I have a terrible
Question
voice.
number 3. You got this, Nick.
What do chairs look like in Panama?
Chairs.
Nice.
Hey! Wow, nice one.
And we're all tied up.
On the board.
Round 4.
1-1. Question 4.
Please be easy.
What is the capital of Panama?
Panama.
Oh,
Panama City.
You said the country. You were
Panama City. Panama is the capital.
Panama.
All right, we'll go with it. All
Ciudad
right.
de Panama.
We'll go 2-1.
Round 5.
Hey.
What famous canal is found in Panama?
Oh, shoot.
God, don't yell at it. Oh, wow. Wow, that was aggressive.
That was not me.
Everyone at home, I am sorry. Your
apologize.
ears are
I'm just
destroyed.
That was
My
insane.
principal's coming.
Rip anyone with headphones on.
Sorry,
Feel
but
free to mute the rest of the mic.
unfortunately, we were looking for the Erie Canal.
Oh,
So it's still 2-1.
All right. Round 6.
What is Panama's national dish?
Rice and chicken. Arroz con pollo.
No,
Ropa Vieja.
it is sancocho.
Sancocho. We didn't have any.
It's
is
chicken
that?
stew.
Oh, we did offer that. Yes.
I know. I had it. It was
Yeah,
very good.
I guess it didn't leave an impression on you.
No, I had it. It was good.
Round 7.
What does the word Panama mean?
Panama.
Oh, nope.
The place that we went.
Lots of something.
Lots of.
Pan. Lots of bread.
Oh.
Love
Lots
of bread.
Lots of
Panama.
Water.
Close.
Lots
What's in the
of-
water?
Lots of
Lots.
ocean.
Lots of ocean.
Lots of canals.
No, what goes in the water? What swims?
Lots of boats.
Oh, fish.
Hey, it's 2-1. Hertel.
No, we got 2-2.
Oh, 2-2.
This one's
All
water.
tied up.
I say boats.
All right,
did I
ready
say?
for
I said
round
fish.
I don't like
8.
nature.
Question 8.
She wanna get
True or false? Panama's an island.
False.
False.
Ah, she got you.
Can we do another?
Nope,
There's-
3-2.
there's one
You can't.
more.
You can leave it with the tie with the last question.
Go for the tie here.
Round 9.
I can do this.
Ready. What does Eduardo soy tu padre mean?
Edward, I'm your dad.
Oh, Luke, I am your father.
Who's Luke? Lucas.
Eduardo, I'm your father.
Yay!
I was just
It's
trying
all
to
tied up.
do the Star
I feel
Wars
like
thing.
my-
Jillian,
Multi-one.
you are the grand winner. You are just as smart as Hertel. You could teach Spanish
Wow,
class.
I should be a Spanish teacher.
good.
Yeah, that was good.
Watch out.
Eduardo, I am your father.
Sadly, though, because the rounds are over, that is our last topic for today. I'm looking at the time.
However, we would like to do one last special thing.
Oh.
Since it is
Send me
getting
back to
around that
Panama.
time, would you guys mind singing us out with Feliz Navidad?
Oh,
Yes.
would love to.
What does that mean, by the way, in Spanish?
Happy Christmas.
Happy
it's a
Christmas.
Merry Christmas song.
you.
All right, so Aiden, do you want to start it?
Senora is freaking out. Do you know the song?
Aiden, do you know how to start the song?
I'm a little.
I don't know how to start the song. Does anyone know how to start the song?
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero años. Feliz Navidad. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to